Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Oh Honey podcast. Oh Honey. I'm your host, Erin, and today we will be discussing family YouTubers.
As you wish.
These family vloggers typically show content of their daily lives with their kids. So typically we've got like a super hot mom and she's probably super pregnant but trendy. And she's making edamame and pita wraps for her 3-year-old before they go to Target. Stuff like that, okay? And they're wildly successful. They have millions of views on YouTube and millions of subscribers. There's a lot of money in family vlogging. This is where you can kind of see how things could get a little messy. It's the fact that people are more or less using their children as content to make money that makes people feel a little uncomfortable. It's the privacy and even safety of the children that are kind of called into question when millions of strangers are viewing them weekly since birth. I mean, most of the time their births are even uploaded onto the internet. So, I mean, people have petitioned YouTube and lawmakers to put certain regulations on this type of content, but nothing has really happened yet. There have been numerous real-life incidences of family vlogging gone too far. On YouTuber Tay Mimi's video on the dark world of family vloggers, she goes into really great detail about a couple situations that involved family vloggers. In the video, she talks about a channel called Daddy of Five, which was an early family vlogging channel. It was kind of ghetto, not really nicely made, but they were pretty popular. They had a good following, but they did pretty horrible things. Like, they filmed themselves yelling and screaming at their children, picking on them even, and singling a certain child out, and pretty much emotionally abusing them. This child that was targeted specifically even ended up later in other videos showing signs of like self-harm or other mental decline due to this abuse. It was really dark. And finally, Philip DeFranco made a video and called them out and kind of brought to light everything that was happening. And the couple that was behind the video, they made an apology video, kind of lied, said the kids were acting, the videos were fake. They didn't seem fake. I mean, if you've seen the videos, I don't suggest seeking them out because I think they're disturbing. Eventually they hired a PR team because their apology videos didn't go over very well. And they made a professional apology, said they were all going to go to counseling. They even tried to make another YouTube, but it was banned by YouTube. But eventually, after pretty much all that evidence that they filmed themselves was brought to light, they ended up losing their kids and going on probation for 2 years. So that was kind of one of the most extreme cases of family vlogging. But there's a couple of other ones that were also disturbing that we can talk about as well. 8 Passengers was another YouTube channel that filmed their kids in sort of embarrassing situations, and they filmed them when they blatantly said they didn't want to be filmed. And I heard just one story where the mother did some crazy, unusual, insane punishments. Like, her 6-year-old daughter forgot to pack her lunch one day, her 6-year-old daughter, and went to school, and the teacher called and asked if the mother would bring her lunch. And she replied that it was her daughter's responsibility and that the teacher should not give her food because she should be punished for forgetting instead. This was just absolutely insane to me because I have a 6-year-old and there's no way I'd make him pack his own lunch, like ever, or ever even refuse to bring him one if he didn't have one. I think that is awful. That is abuse. Like, restricting food is completely abuse and can lead to so much psychological issues, honestly. But then there's other family vloggers like Micah Stauffer. She had adopted a child from China, making her family of 4 children turn to 5 children, and which was a lot. They were told beforehand that this child had a lot of special needs, would require a lot of care medically, physically, emotionally. It would be hard, and they still went through with the adoption. And he was really hard to care for. And Micah did some pretty questionable things for punishment. I mean, there was a situation where he was on the autistic spectrum, and those who know about people on the autistic spectrum know that they have sometimes very high sensory input, and so certain sensations will be extreme for them when for other people they wouldn't be. And so she would duct tape his thumbs so he would stop sucking his thumb. And he was 3 and it just wasn't okay. And she did a lot of things like that for about 2 years and milked this child for YouTube content. And then finally one day, they stopped showing him in their videos. Everyone started questioning them, and they finally came out with a video and said that they had rehomed him. And what is so disturbing about this, because sometimes adoptions don't work out, but what was so awful was that she had been warned, and she had made videos ahead of time about it. And she had said, quote, "My child is not returnable," is what she said in a video. And yet she did. So that just shows another case of using your child for content, pretty much, and making money from it. Then there's the LeBrant family and the Ace family, who are probably 2 of the most popular family vloggers on YouTube right now, though they have had many scandals and I would say very questionable clickbaits. Their titles on their videos. Oh my goodness. So we're actually going to go read through a couple video titles. We did some research and found some crazy video titles that they actually have. So let's get started. The LeBrant fam. This is all from them, all from their channel. First one. "We have a problem, ... We can't believe this happened to ... Yeah, that's one of their titles. I mean, I get it. It draws me in. I'm wondering. But I don't know, saying you have a problem and you can't believe something happened to someone, I don't know, it feels a little dark to me. I don't know. But here's another one. This is the next one. LeBrant fam. "Our family vacation ends in a disaster." I mean, that wouldn't be too bad if the thumbnail wasn't a picture of them in a ER room, it looks like, holding their child and looking sad. I think that's what makes it disturbing. And then they have something else like the doctor gave us unexpected news about Everly, which is their daughter. I don't know, like, and they have the thumbnail with her looking real sad, like, I don't know, like, insinuating something terrible, but then the video itself it wasn't that bad, it wasn't that extreme. They just kind of made it seem that way. That happens a lot with this, so we'll keep reading, and you guys will see. The next one is, a giant fire makes us evacuate our house. All caps. The thing that was disturbing about this one, though, is we looked into it, and they didn't actually evacuate their house. And this video was actually changed to a different title and thumbnail after it came to light they never evacuated. So that was the previous title. But now, yeah, it's just sketchy. And then, next one is, I think, the worst. And they had a, quote, she got diagnosed with cancer, period. And reading that and knowing they have children, you assume, and they're all female children, you assume it's one of their children. But it was actually ended up being about random kids in the hospital with cancer. But yeah, just stuff like that. Some questionable tactics for gaining views, I would say. So let's move on to the Ace family. Ace family, quote, our new dog bit our baby. Scary moment.
Cringe.
Ooh. Yeah. It's not, I don't know. Okay, if it happened, yeah, but they have a picture of their child crying on the thumbnail. And then when you watch it, it really wasn't that serious. But they make it seem so extreme, like people are genuinely concerned about your baby. I don't know. Yeah, and then the next one, same kind of thing. Steele got hurt bad on camera. Exclamation point. So unexpected. And the thumbnail is a picture of him falling and then a bloody picture of him. He did end up going to the hospital because of his injury in that video. But the thing that is disturbing about it is that she never puts down the freaking camera the whole time and just films. And it's like, lady, like, your kid's hurt and you're in the hospital. Put down the damn camera, you know? So ultimately, the huge problem around these channels is consent. The child never consents to be filmed their entire lives. And then when they're older, they end up having this privacy crisis because they realize the whole world saw them go potty for the first time. Or something like that, you know. They are filmed in every situation and everything that happens to them, and everyone knows everything. And in some of these cases we talked about today, it just shows that children are literally being exploited for views and money. And ultimately, I think there needs to be some sort of regulation and protection for these kids.
As you wish.
Well, thank you for tuning in to this episode of Oh Honey. I hope you have a wonderful night, and remember to stay mindful of what kind of content that you watch online. Thank you. Oh, honey.